analysis mode, and I don't go any beyond that. So it's nice to have knowledge, but if you don't back it up with any action or doing, that's just all it is. There's no wisdom, there's no mastery behind it. So this is where step 2 comes into play. Step 2 is the doing part. This is where we actually get to take that knowledge and do what they call embody it, and feel what it's like to actually apply it. So we get to involve our senses. We get to involve visual, auditory, kinesthetic, taste, smell, and most importantly, we get to produce something called an emotion or a feeling. Every experience, the end product of every experience is an emotion or a feeling. Now, this is what's going to lock knowledge into memory, because you're actually performing it now. And it will involve a part of the brain called the limbic brain. Now, the limbic brain is very interesting because it's where our primitive urges sit. And they call it the 4Fs, which is fighting, fleeing, feeding, and fornicating. So that part of the brain is where we get the basic buttons of pain or pleasure get pushed in this part of the brain. So the challenging part of this stage is, how many people have tried something once and never did it again? Because it just didn't feel good. You know, something like exercising or eating broccoli or telling your annoying sister that you appreciate them. You know, it's not comfortable to do change, is it? Especially the first time. And that's because we neurochemically condition our bodies, we neurochemically condition our habits, and they become ingrained or hardwired in our systems. And it's very, very difficult to get away from that, because what begins to happen is this battle between the mind and the body. The mind says, you know, I really should do this, or I should exercise. The body says, hello, no. Well, what are you talking about? Not in my house. Okay? And you get into this battle, and some of the things that you start to say to yourself, you get these little voices, and they're called sub-vocalizations. And these little voices will say, oh, you can start tomorrow. I'm just not ready yet. I just don't feel like it. That's my favorite. I just don't feel like it. So a lot of people end up getting past this point, trying it once, and then going back. Yes? Yes? How many people have done that? Come on. Yeah, me, for sure. Okay. So the key to sustained change lies in the last stage, is in the being stage. Okay? This is where we go beyond the discomfort, beyond the pain. We push ourselves beyond the pain, beyond the discomfort, beyond the little voices. And we begin to repeat and practice and repeat. And we begin to hardwire those actions and those behaviors and those habits into the cerebellum of our brain, which is the subconscious part of our brain. And those synapses begin to fire together. Okay? Whenever we learn a new concept, we start what they call a new neural net in your brain. And then there's a really cool graphic out there that shows it, where actually wires of synapses come together and they wire together. And the more you fire that neural net, the stronger it gets. The tracks get stronger, right? The less you fire it, they begin to actually pry and pull apart. So that's where habits come from. You know, it's how hardwired you, and the way you hardwire it is you repeat. You got to do it more than once. Anybody who knows who wants to undergo a habit, especially if anybody's a smoker here, okay, you understand what I'm going through. If you're trying to quit, you can't just quit in a day or quit in a week. It takes a little bit more time. Depends on how long you've had the habit, too.